What if you were laying there like, look at my butthole, and you're awake?
Well, that's
so
what
weird.
I mean. I don't want them like using my butt as like a puppet and being like, like, what's up? You know, like.
Yay Networks.
Hey guys, welcome back to episode 6 of Together Miss. Jeff and I, this is a bunch of random mess that we are going to talk about today.
No, but it's relevant stuff. Before we get going, I do want to say thank you everyone for subscribing and liking and telling a friend, because when we were first on Big Brother, like when we got off the show, I noticed that like my family really came together because they all watched the show, and I understand that was like a whole summer. But this is kind of like a little glimpse of that. Like I'm hearing from friends that I haven't heard from in a while, and they're like, hey, I listened to the episode, so cool. So the response has been really cool, and I just want to say thank you, because I think it's cool. Just a different way to connect with people that I haven't talked to in a while, and I like that.
It is, you are true. Like people who I didn't even think would listen to the podcast are writing me and like, love the podcast, keep it coming. Thank you everybody who messages me. I still try to write back to everybody as much as I can.
Yeah.
And
I just want
no, it's good. Yeah. My old manager from the hair salon wrote me, Sharon, love her. And she was driving from Nashville to Alabama, and she was like, I was laughing the whole way.
Well, you got to single people out, because then they're like, how come I didn't get a shout out?
No, Sharon, because she was my old manager. Sharon, I love her. She was like, I was a kid. I was 19 when I started working there, and she was so good to me and like a mom, and I just love her, and Melissa too.
All right. Thank you to everybody.
Yes. Okay, so this week is kind of like another little hectic week, you know? School's starting. Kids are all excited. Lawson told me it was this second day. Actually, it was the night after the first day of school. And he's like, Mom, my stomach kind of hurts. I'm like, Lawson, it's just your nerves. You probably just got really excited because your first day of school. And he's like, okay. And send him to school. Get a call from the school. This is the second day of school. And they say, Lawson has 101.9 fever. You got to come get him. I'm like, really? We're off to a great start. This whole summer, we have had strep throat, me, Lawson, and Leighton 3 times. Me and Lawson get strep throat. Leighton gets, I don't know the medical terminology, Leighton gets strep butthole. He gets it in his butthole. I'm like, what? My mom's like, that's weird. I'm like, every single time he gets it in his butthole.
Well, listen, we thought it was weird too. I go to the doctor, I'm like, dude, what's up? He's like, I don't know. Somehow he ingests it, and then it's all the same tube, and then he poops it out, and he gets strep butthole.
Yeah.
Leighton does everything different. He doesn't get strep throat. He gets strep.
Yes, Leighton's the...
Of course, Leighton. Leighton's our youngest one, but yeah, it's only Leighton who gets
Leighton's
that.
The one always hurt. He just always does everything. Like, everybody knows Leighton as... If he's crying, they're like, well, what did he do now?
Yeah, he's got a punch card to the ER.
Yeah.
Stitches, puts things in his ear, put a bead up his nose, just blows his nose. We told that story.
No, did we tell this story?
Yeah, I think so.
Did we?
Yeah.
He just, our neighbor's a nurse.
Swallowed a penny.
Yeah. And Lawson, I'm like, Leighton, why do you do these things? Because I wanted to see if I could get the bead out.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, listen, kids will be kids, but things are different. I don't know if other people feel like this out there, but something's different. I don't know what it is, and I'm not talking about like COVID shots or anything like that, so everybody calm down. I'm talking about like when I was a kid, I used to get perfect attendance, because I remember they give us tickets to the White Sox game, and I never missed a day of school, and I get those tickets like every year. My mom would never, ever let me miss school. My parents would drive me to school. When my dad was out working, my mom would drive me. And if it was snowing, like 3 feet of snow, I had to walk, and then I'd meet up with my friends and we'd get to school.
That's like old school.
Yeah. And I'd be there every day. Our kids, every other day is like a teacher's institute, teachers celebrating Teacher's Day. They don't even go to school. And then the other half of the time, they're sick. I never remember being that sick. Our kids are sick all the time. Our neighbors' kids get sick. They play outside. I understand. I just don't understand what's happening in the world, that the kids are sick more than they used to. Maybe it's just me, and maybe it's just our household.
I asked the pediatrician. I was like, is something like wrong? Like, what is going on? And he said, he goes COVID. He goes, everyone was away from each other. People weren't you weren't touching anything. You weren't around.
So your immune system?
He's like, your immune system is down. But Leighton was 2 years old. And I remember during COVID, if you would run in the store, I would wait in the car with them. And we never got them out. And so people I know whose kids, who they were traveling during COVID, getting out during COVID, their kids are never sick.
I don't know.
It's like they're
I feel like all kids are sick. And again, maybe it's just me, but I
never was sick before we had kids. I went 10 years without health insurance. I had to get health insurance because I got pregnant with Lawson. Remember that? Yeah. That's why we got married. Or that's why we can't even remember when we got married. Because it was like, shoot, I'm pregnant and I don't have health insurance and I need a qualifying event to happen. So we ran to the courthouse and got married, and that's behind the scenes.
I remember being at your house in Charlotte, in your mom's room, you know, and like doing that for hours. Remember I was trying to get like Blue Cross Blue Shield or whatever?
Such a pain.
I don't know. No one cares about that
Such
stuff.
a pain.
But yeah.
And
but whatever it is, I don't understand too how you afford things. Because like a trip to the ER or a trip to the doctor or all these things, we have insurance. And it's still like, what are you talking about, these bills? Like you send in a test?
We just got one.
And then they double charge you? How about the double charge?
Oh yeah, that's a little tip I learned. From one of your HR people.
Scumbags.
Like, if you ever go to the hospital, and I did this twice, and I caught errors. If I would have just wrote the check as the bills were coming in, we would have got double charged.
Oh, yeah, all the time. You got to write down.
She told me, this is just a tip for anybody if they're going to have a baby, you wait until they're threatening to send you to collections and all your bills have come in. And I just made a stash for everything. Then you go through it, because some of the bills after I had Leighton, there was a bill sent to our house right away. And it was, I think, it was either $1,500 or $2,500. I can't remember. And then there was another bill for like $2,500. And I was like, how in the world was a vaginal birth more expensive than a C-section? And we were in California then, and California's more expensive. So anyways, I started looking into it, called the hospital, talked to somebody, and this lady's like, you don't know that. And then I was like, well, why was it sent? And we got a bill the other day, and it just says coding. Like the coding on it. Yeah. It doesn't even give an explanation of what it's for. It's like $300, but it doesn't tell you what.
Yeah, I don't know. Listen,
I don't trust health insurance. I guess I am a
conspiracy theory guy.
I'm a conspiracy theorist.
I kind of like it. Sure. I like it, but I don't know if this is a conspiracy theory. But something's going on. Like people, kids are sick way more than they used to be. I'm sick way more than I used to be. And to kind of drift off topic here, well, it's not kind of on topic. Speaking of childbirth, when you were pregnant the second time, they wanted you to get a C-section again.
And I was like, no.
Like they were pushing it.
And I kept saying, no. I go, he's head down. Why do I need to have a C-section? And they were like, no, we're going to take him. It was Labor Day weekend. Yeah,
it was Labor Day weekend.
And I was like, no. And they're like, well, you're probably going to have difficulties in a vaginal birth. It's a VBAC. And I was like, well, I want to take the risk and I want to try it.
And it was a big deal. Like I talked to this girl at my work, Chin Chin.
I love Chin Chin.
And her mom, I guess, is like one of the best, what do you call it?
OBGYN.
In the country, okay, right? Or so, I don't know her exact title, but she's up there and she knew and she was really animate about saying, you need to have a natural birth. Don't get another C-section. Your wife, you were on medication, right? Weren't you on medication?
Yes, because,
like a blood thinner of some sort? I think
it was like my blood count was off. I want to say that's what it was, but I'm not positive.
You were on something, right? And then she was explaining to me, if you have a C-section, you're at risk because your blood is thinner.
Out. Yeah, you could bleed out.
Listen, I'm not a doctor. I don't want to get into this whole thing. But the whole point of the story is the doctor was going away for Labor Day, and they're like, let's take the baby now. Let's get it out of there. And everything was fine. And the only reason they wanted to do a C-section was so they could get it done before they went on vacation.
Well, no, a C-section, it's way more money for them.
Well, maybe that too. The vacation, they're like, well, I'll be back Tuesday. And then Leighton was born like the next day. We played Bob Marley and he popped out.
And then it was just very chill. I actually took a nap before I push Leighton out, they called it a balloon. They put this balloon up inside you, and that really makes your contractions intense. And once they put that in there, I was like, oh, I need an epidural bad.
I just put one in for fun.
And then
just to be a team player.
And then Jeff was all confused because when we had the C-section with Lawson, I mean, all you ladies who have gave birth know, put your leg in a butterfly position. We're putting this catheter in you. And people are like, hi, I'm this nurse. And your vagina's just hanging out there. And then you're like, oh, my God, look at all these people. The vagina.
And I wanted to see, remember? And you're like,
I was
don't look.
Don't you look. And then, no, but that was with Lawson. Then with Leighton.
With Leighton, our first one was a C-section. In case we're kind of jumping around. Leighton was natural birth, and I wanted to see it, which was beautiful, by the way.
And I was like, Jeff, do not look at my vagina. And Jeff's like, what? And he goes, and I look so... They got my legs all the way up. And then Jeff's like, can I look now? And I was like, no, you cannot. And then I knew, and we do this too, you shit. Because you have to push like you're pooping. And so you push. And my doctor, I loved her.
Dude, she just
went, whoop.
She was such a G.
And I looked at Jeff like, oh my God, I pooped. And
no, you're like, did I poop? And I was like, no. And she was just like a mechanic, like a magician mechanic. She just like wiped it off. She had like essential oils she was rubbing in there.
Yeah, every time after a contraction, she would take an essential oil and just massage my hole. And Leighton was almost 8 pounds, and I didn't even tear.
But I did look. So.
Oh, you did look. I know. And we have a picture.
So we're gonna. Hold on. Don't insert the picture yet. When I finally go, oh, listen, I'm looking because they're like, here comes the head, and Jordan's like, I could go ahead look, and it's not like. For people who gave childbirth out there or saw childbirth, it's not like what you think, right? It's like, it's a beautiful thing, Like, I don't know, it's a beautiful thing. I'm not gonna cry. But
yes, you are. You're about to cry.
I saw, like the top of Leighton's head, and I was like, how's he getting out of there?
Well, hang on, wait. When we got to the hospital, they showed Jeff a pie chart. And they're like, okay, this is how big the hole's going to have to get.
Yeah, like one was a Oreo
and then Jeff's
a pop
like,
can.
Your hole gets that big?
Well, because, it's got to get to some point. A baby's coming out there. So anyways, I see the top, right? And then my first reaction was, how's he getting out of there? Like I said, and I was like, wow. And then all of a sudden, the doctor's like, one more push. And then there's a lot of weird shit that comes out. I don't get it. Like, again, it's a beautiful thing, but I don't know what was happening there. It's just it's some weird stuff that comes out. But the baby comes out, and I was like, oh, my God. So insert picture here. The nurses were taking pictures, and they got me, and I saw the nurses, like, cracking up, and I was like, oh, my God, it's beautiful. I'm like, what are you guys laughing at? They're like, wait till you see this picture. Your face is hilarious. Because I was in shock. It was like... I don't know. You think clowns jumping out of a car is impressive at the circus? This was like 50 clowns jumping out of there at once. I'm serious. It was wild. But it's a beautiful thing. And then my respect for women, I already loved you, but I was like, man, I can't do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm like, you've seen it all, love.
Yeah.
You've seen it all, inside and out.
I did. The C-section, I saw everything too.
Yeah.
Which again, when that happens, you only see your kid. But I don't know. This story's kind of boring. We're kind of talking about.
Okay, so we're going to make a shift going in since we're talking about health.
Yeah. We're going to take a shift from our kids to our health. But at first, let's take a little break.
Okay. We all know life can be messy. For us, school just started, and I want something that is quick and easy to make. I hate going to the grocery store. So if it's delivered right at my door, I'm sold.
And that's where Green Chef comes in. It's convenient. It comes in one box. We recently received the Mediterranean package.
It was so good.
So good. And I'm a pretty good chef. And there were some spices in there that I'm not used to cooking with. There were some Indian spices to put on the chicken. That was really good. And
if you're somebody like me, I'm not a good cook at all. And I don't like cooking because I don't want to follow the steps. And it's just boring to me. But what's great about this is it's all right there in front of you, and it gives you the directions, and it's so easy to make.
And for Jordan, there's even pictures that come with it.
Yeah.
So it makes it even easier.
I need pictures.
And also, with Green Chef, you're reducing your food waste by up to 23% versus grocery shopping, which is great, right?
Yes, and I am, I'm very vocal about this. I'm trying to lose weight, so eating clean and having recipes that help manage my weight and support my wellness goals, I'm all about.
Go to greenchef.com/togetherness50 and use code togetherness50 to get 50% off, plus free shipping. All right, so welcome back to Together Mess. That was the first time I got it right.
Yeah, you did. You
Yeah.
didn't say it together, miss.
Yeah, I said we're getting good. Episode 6.
Yes.
We're catching our groove a little bit. But yeah, so we were just talking about childbirth and all that. I don't know, people out there might relate a little bit, but we're going to do a little deeper dive into that and maybe some of your postpartum, which we mentioned in an earlier episode. But I do want to kind of separate a whole episode just for that, because you talking about that really helped a lot of people. In all seriousness, I like to have fun on here. And I think talking about again might help some more.
Yes. Oh, yeah, totally. Because if you are somebody that or experiencing postpartum depression,
because you might not know is the whole point, and that's what happened to us. But again, maybe next episode, maybe down the road in the near future, we'll get into that.
We'll take, like Jeff said, a deep dive into that. We'll talk more about pregnancy. This was just kind of just surfacing a little bit, just a little taste of what it's like if you've never experienced being in childbirth. Okay, so speaking of health, because that's what we were talking about, Jeff, I kept telling him, I was like, you haven't been to the doctor in like 10 years, and he just turned 45. I'm like, you have to go to the doctor. And also, too, because we're always sick, I'm like, if you get sick, you have nobody to call. You have no doctor.
I had no physician.
Yeah, no doctor to go to.
Right? Is that what they're called, right?
Yeah, physician, whoever, nurse practitioner, whoever.
I like our doctor or technical terms, like, I don't know, OB something, OBYN.
Yeah,
I don't know what I'm talking about.
But
OBGYN.
So Trista, she's mine. Love her. She's like my friend. She's helped me through so much, and I just feel like so comfortable with her. And I feel like the younger doctors, nurse practitioners that are coming in are so cool and like more chill. When I was younger, my family doctor that I went to, just very serious. You didn't joke around with the doctor. They weren't like playful. So that's how I always thought doctors were. But like this new group of doctors, I feel like coming in, like the 40-year-olds, 30-year-olds, they're like super cool. Anyways, okay. So Jeff, I set him up with an appointment with Trista, and you guys discuss about colonoscopy. And she told Jeff, you got a choice. You can be put to sleep or you poop in a box. And Jeff, we're talking. I'm like, what'd you choose? And he goes, to poop in a box. And I'm like, what? And I was like, why would you do that? That's so weird. And he's like, no, I don't want to be put to sleep. I'm like, that's so much better. You get put to sleep. It's the best sleep of your life. And then they wake you up and you're just like out of it.
Listen. Could I tell my story?
Oh, yeah. Tell your story.
So anyways, I went to the doctor, like Jordan said, because I'm 45, and we have a doctor on our show all the time, and she's like, you need to get a checkup. And I'm like, I want the whole thing. You know what I mean? The blood work, everything. At 45 to 50, you're supposed to get that colonoscopy, which I'm going to do, definitely. But when I was in there, I was answering all these questions, and then I was like, yeah, I don't know if I want to get put to sleep. And I'm like, I'll just do the box thing. But now I got the box, and I'm like, I don't want to poop. I don't want to poop in this box.
So I walk in his office, and I see it sitting on your toilet. And I'm like, did he poop in that? And he just is waiting to mail it out.
Yeah, so I got to poop in it and send it back. I don't know.
That's weird.
Yeah, it is weird. It is weird. So I think I'm going to maybe shut that down. I got to call Tristan and Trista and see if I could get, because I just had a friend come into town recently too.
And he had it done.
And he's like, we found like a polyp in there. And he goes, dude, it's so easy, man. Like, you don't even know you're out. But I don't know. I don't like getting put to sleep.
Oh my gosh. these doctors know what they're doing, and it's the best sleep. I get so excited. They're
just,
like, bye, off to La La Land. I'm like, see you guys later.
I was listening to another podcast. What's it called? With Sean Hayes and Jason Bateman. What's it called? You know what I'm talking about?
Oh,
and Will Arnett.
Oh, I know.
Smartless. Okay. So it's a good podcast too. And they were talking about doing that. And Sean Hayes goes, I just got a colonoscopy done. And he, before, like as a joke, he got put out. He goes, all right, so they put it in his arm. He goes, we're going to count back from 10. And they're like, 10, 9. He goes, okay, just don't touch my butthole. He goes, then I just passed out. And he goes, right before I passed out, I did hear a couple laughs. So it was a good one.
But it is. It's like you see everybody in the room, and then you're just out, and then you wake up and there's somebody there waking you up, and you get mad.
I kind of want, like, this sounds weird, but I kind of want to film them doing it to me. Because you know they're, listen.
Film it?
Just so it's all on the up and up. You know what I mean? They're playing around back there. Everyone's cracking jokes. Like, they're so used to it. You know there's got to be jokes going on. You don't think when they're in there's like a joke, you think they're super serious? You know what? Or you think they crack a joke?
Oh, they're probably
like, dude, look at this guy.
Normally they're playing music. Like, what's your favorite music? We'll put it on. And
no, but I'm saying once you're out.
You're more scared to get put to sleep, and you don't even remember those people, and they're in your butthole. And then us women. But I don't want them us women have to give childbirth and have our vaginas out there to the world, and everybody walking by that you don't know. That's more uncomfortable.
True. Yeah, you
being
got me.
awake, being like, yeah. What if you were laying there like, look at my butthole, and you're awake?
Well, that's
so
what
weird.
I mean. I don't want them like using my butt as like a puppet, being like, what's up? You know, like that's what I would do. I'd be cracking jokes in there.
Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying?
They'd probably get fired if they were.
But if it's just you and someone else, if it was me and you and we had to do that, you don't think we'd be cracking jokes the whole time?
We'd never be in that situation because we're two idiots.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right, you got me there. So I'm going to go.
So I think he's changed his mind now.
Plus, you know what? I don't want the lab tests and stuff. I think that's where all the money's at. Again, back to the conspiracy. I feel like, hey, they're like, poop in this box. We had to do 100 tests and it's 10 grand to poop in the box. Don't get me started with finances.
Like, I won't. What is that thing? I think your brother and them got it for us. And I'm a total conspiracy theorist now. My dad's like, I think you made me a conspiracy theorist because I watch all this stuff. I love a good conspiracy. Yeah, but oh shoot, what was I going to say? It was about
I don't know.
Oh man, I dropped it.
Good one.
Wait, what was I going to say?
I don't know.
What did you just say?
Maybe the government shut you down and you didn't even know.
They read my mind.
Yeah, they shut it down.
There's just so much stuff. I feel like with the hospitals, with health, with aliens.
I heard this comedian one time. He goes, you know, the first thing I'm going to do if I could communicate with the alien, and he goes, I'm going to tell them there's no information in my ass. You know, they always do like probes. What are you talking about? You don't get that joke? You never heard of like alien probing humans and they like stick things in your ass? Like a colonoscopy? What are you talking about? You never heard of probing?
No, I don't think so.
Well, that joke. Well, someone out there laughed.
No, I don't get that at all.
You never heard of aliens probing humans when they come
Jeff
here?
believes in, you believe in aliens, don't you?
Well, I think there's something out there.
I don't. I can't.
What are you talking? Okay. This is now we're really drifting, but in the whole universe, you don't think there's other life forms, even if they can't get here. You don't think there's other solar systems out there?
No, it's just to me, I just can't wrap my head around it. And Jeff and I went to Roswell, the alien museum. I mean, that was like a joke.
That was a joke.
Jeff was like into it.
There's so many stories. My
think
thing is, why isn't there any pictures or video, especially with the cameras we have now?
Yeah.
That's my only thing. But I kind of want to believe that there is. Like, I do believe.
You do? See, I don't. And I just can't get on the alien train.
All right. Well, that's a...
But I do think our government hides a bunch of stuff. There might be some things. They said that there's like a ship that they like a little alien ship that crashed and that it's underground and the government knows about it. But I'm like, oh, come on. That's so fake.
All right, I don't know where we're going to go here. Let's take a little break, regroup, and come back. Maybe talk about us getting messy as a couple, and then we'll wrap it up for today. What do you think?
Sounds good.
All right.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Kids, life, marriage, your job, everything can feel stressful at times. And I think that is why BetterHelp is great, because a lot of times I feel like I need to talk to somebody and I need to vent and I need to feel better. And what's great about this is you just fill out a brief questionnaire and you get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists at any time. If you don't feel like the therapist that you first got, if it's a match, you can switch anytime you want.
Which I think is very important. And we were talking about this on the show that I work on, behind the scenes. People, once they find the right therapist, it really works for them. So that's very important, and that's something BetterHelp offers, which I think is very important and convenient. Personally, for men, I think there's a stigma in society that you're not allowed to talk about your feelings. At least that was old school way of thinking, right? Just push your feelings.
That definitely is old school.
Yeah, push your feelings down and don't bring them up again. I think society is changing a little bit, especially with tough guys, or quote unquote tough guys in the military, police officers that see things that they probably shouldn't see, and then talking to someone, getting those things out. I'm not at that level, but marriage and kids, like you said, can get tough, and sometimes it's nice to talk to somebody.
I think I need to talk to somebody today. My neck feels tight.
Marriage is tough, and we both could use someone to talk to.
Let therapy be your map with BetterHelp.
Visit BetterHelp.com/togetherness today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/togetherness.
So, Jeff, did I convince you to want to be put to sleep instead of...
You know what? I think overall, again, my friend and then the doctor on the show, they said they can't really check too much into that poop in a box thing. Like, there's really got to be something going on. But I already got the box. I might as well just poop in it, right? It's already just there. So I might as well just do that. And then in like a year or two, do the real deal and have the doctors treat my butt like a puppet. So that's the final thing. I think I'm going to do that and then get the results and see what happens.
I remember now what I was going to say.
About what?
Being a conspiracy theorist. And this is so random, but now I remember. It slipped my mind. But
well, everybody's been waiting.
Your brother and them at Christmas got us the Ancestry.
Oh, yeah.
And I won't do that.
I didn't do it either. Yeah, I know.
I don't want to send... It's like your DNA, right? Out?
Yeah.
And then what if I watch all these crime shows and like, what if, I don't know, what if you find out that you have another dad? I don't know. I just don't want to.
Well, that happens. I mean, a lot.
Yeah, but I just don't want to know. I don't want my DNA out there. What if somebody try to like frame you? This is like where my mind goes.
Yeah, I didn't do it either. I feel bad because they bought it for us.
Yeah, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do it. My mom's like, why? You should. And I'm like, I really don't care to know what family members a long, long time ago. I could care less.
I do want to. The only reason I want to do it is kind of like they're getting better at it and knowing like your nationality and things like that. And I know, like at least where my ancestors came from for the most part, right? My dad's half is German, my mom's Italian. And so I know the kids are at least, I'm half and half, and they're going to be quarter. I have no idea what you are.
Just plain.
No, that's not a thing. It's not a country.
I'm just boring. I don't know where I'm from. I don't know.
But don't you kind of want to know for the kids' sake?
I don't really care, to be honest.
For the kids' sake?
I mean, I guess if they came to me and were like, I really want to know, I'd be like, okay, let's do it. But for right now, I could care less.
All right. Well, there you go. I don't know where that story was going. We're way off the rails today.
I know, but that's like my thing going in like, I don't know, conspiracy theories and just like not trusting people and like, I don't know. I think I watched too much murder and crime.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
All right, you want to get messy for a second?
Yes.
All right, so this just popped in my head, just like your random thoughts of aliens and 23andMe. I don't know. Your mind is so crazy. Maybe you're an alien, and that's why you're convincing me there are no aliens. Maybe that's the whole thing going on here.
Maybe.
Yeah, you never know. But speaking of speaking of boxes, not pooping in boxes, boxes in general.
Oh, God.
And misunderstandings, this one men could definitely relate to.
What?
And this is a definite go. How come women throw boxes, whole boxes in the recycling bin, and men take the time to cut up the boxes so all of them fit?
Because we do everything and we don't want to take the time to cut up a box. We just want to throw it and get rid of it.
But why is that a male versus female thing? It's true. Like every female just throws it in there, and every male goes out there and cuts it up.
I've never known anybody to cut up a box except for you.
What?
Like
I think everybody does.
When you were like, why don't you cut up these boxes and break them down? I was like, who does that?
I think the whole world.
My dad never did.
Big Sexy? Yeah, maybe that's a good point. Maybe Big Sexy does it. He'll pay somebody to cut those boxes up. But I think most men cut up the boxes.
I don't have an answer for you. I think it's just because who wants to do that? Who wants to take a knife and cut
So
the
it all
boxes?
fits and it's not laying around your garage. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm
Cool,
lazy.
cool comeback.
Well, no. I mean, I'm just lazy. I don't know. I don't want to do it. Like when we moved into our house, that was a pain. And we had furniture constantly coming. We had nonstop like boxes that we would have to cut.
Yeah.
And I hated doing it. But it was the only reason why I did do it is because it's the only way I could get everything to fit where we wouldn't have a million boxes just sitting there because our recycling only comes every other week.
All right. I thought that was going to be better than that, but I guess not.
Oh, well. And then something that you do that annoys me.
Do you got anything you want to get off your chest before we wrap it up?
I can't stand when Jeff drives my car.
Hold on. Take a sip of your big gulp and think it over.
Okay, listen, I love, just like what you complained about the other
Yeah,
day.
your giant cups.
I do. I love them. I went to the gas station today, like 99 cents. And I got my big cups. I'm going to make a Togetherness cup.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
So what were you going to say? Sorry.
Jeff, you always he'll like drink out of like a water bottle and then just whip it.
What are you talking about?
You just like will drink it.
Oh,
and
right.
then
Finish it.
Yeah, but you whip it in the
I do
back
that on
seat.
purpose to make you mad.
No, you don't.
Yes,
and then
I do.
There's trash all in the car. Like I'm neat, I feel like. The kids make the car messy. I'm neat. But you
Do you want to go take a picture of that car right now?
yeah, it probably no, I mean I threw stuff away, but you like fold up your receipts and you put it there, you put your change.
I put the receipts in the door where the thing is, so when I get out, I could throw it away.
And you never do.
Yeah,
Then
I
get
do.
in,
Sometimes
and
I
gotta
forget.
throw it away.
How about you? You put tissues on the ground. You blow your nose and put it on the ground, on the right side, not even on the left side, where like you just get out and you could scoop it out. You leave it on the right side. It's gross. It's super gross. Your
Yeah.
booger napkins.
You know what's super gross is Leighton's booger napkins.
Napkins.
All right.
Yeah, I think
we're
just starting to
out
pick
on
each
this
other.
one.
Yeah, I think we're done here. Big gulps. See you later. Well, like, subscribe.
Oh, like, subscribe, download, tag a friend, follow us on Instagram handle.
Do you know where the big
Together
gulp
Miss
see you
Pod-
later is from?
No, I thought you were just saying big gulp.
You don't know the line? Hey, what's up? Big gulps, huh? Well, see you later.
No.
You don't know who that's from?
No, what?
Dumb and Dumber.
Really?
Oh, man.
I don't ever get your joke.
Never, ever get my movie lines. You didn't get the alien joke? You didn't get Dumb and Dumber joke?
It's the weekend.
All right. I think we need to. Yeah. So we did we say we're switching days? We're filming this on Fridays now?
We're filming this on Fridays, but it still airs on Wednesdays.
Yeah,
It's
still
the same
keeping-
thing. So download, like, subscribe, tag a friend, follow Instagram handle at Together Miss Pod, BB Jordan Lloyd.
Jeff Schroeder 23, and you've been doing a really good job of writing people back. So thank you for writing in, and thank you for getting back to as many people as you can.
Thank you for watching.